Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that's affecting so many of us: burnout and the myths surrounding it. We live in a time where we're constantly bombarded with messages about productivity and achieving more, and it can be tough to reconcile that with the very real feeling of being completely burnt out. So let's debunk those myths, explore why hustle culture makes you feel lazy when you're actually just exhausted, and talk about how we can prioritize our well-being. Let's start by tackling the idea that longer hours automatically equal more productivity. This myth is deeply ingrained in our work culture, but it's just not true. Many people believe that the more hours they put in, the more they will accomplish. However, research shows that working beyond a certain point actually leads to decreased productivity. The quality of work starts to suffer, and the amount of work completed diminishes. Studies have consistently shown that after a certain number of hours, our ability to focus and produce high-quality work drops significantly. Think about it, our brains aren't machines. We can't keep churning out work at the same pace hour after hour without consequence. Mental fatigue sets in, and our cognitive functions start to decline. We need breaks to maintain our productivity and creativity. Just like our bodies need rest after physical exertion, our minds need downtime to recharge. Taking regular breaks and ensuring we have time to relax and unwind is crucial for maintaining high levels of productivity and overall well-being. A study by the Bureau of Labor Statistics found that productivity per hour starts to decline after about 50 hours of work per week. This means that working longer hours doesn't necessarily mean getting more done, and after 60 hours? Forget about it, you're running on fumes, and the quality of your work reflects that. Mistakes become more frequent, and tasks take longer to complete. When we're overworked and exhausted, we're more likely to make mistakes and miss deadlines. The stress and fatigue can lead to burnout, which is detrimental to both our professional and personal lives. It's like trying to run a marathon without ever stopping to catch your breath. Eventually, you will collapse from exhaustion. But hustle culture ignores all of this. It tells us that we should be constantly striving, constantly pushing ourselves to the limit, without regard for our mental and physical health. It tells us that if we're not working ourselves to the bone, then we're just not working hard enough. This mindset is not only unhealthy but also counterproductive. It's about setting healthy boundaries, prioritizing our well-being, and understanding that rest is an essential ingredient for sustained productivity and success. By taking care of ourselves and ensuring we have time to rest and recharge, we can actually achieve more in the long run. It's about working smarter, not harder, and recognizing that our well-being is the foundation of our productivity and success. So we've established that working ourselves to the bone isn't the key to success. But what about taking breaks? Hustle culture would have us believe that stepping away from our work is a sign of weakness. But this couldn't be further from the truth. Taking breaks is like hitting the reset button on your brain. It allows you to come back to your work with fresh eyes and renewed focus. It's about working smarter, not harder. When you're feeling mentally drained, you're not producing your best work. But when you take a break, even a short one, you give your brain a chance to disengage from mental fatigue. Studies have shown that taking regular breaks can improve focus, boost creativity, and reduce stress levels. There are many ways to incorporate breaks into your day. You can go for a walk, listen to music, meditate, or just step away from your desk. The key is to find what works best for you and make it a regular part of your routine. Remember, taking breaks isn't about being lazy. It's about being intentional with your time and energy. Let's talk about the elephant in the room: hustle culture. This idea that we need to be constantly working to be successful. It's everywhere, on social media, in the news, even in casual conversation, and it can be incredibly difficult to escape. On the surface, hustle culture can seem aspirational. It's about ambition and the pursuit of success. But beneath that shiny veneer lies a darker side, one that can be damaging to our mental health. The problem with hustle culture is that it glorifies overworking to the point of exhaustion. It tells us that our worth is directly tied to our productivity. It's a recipe for burnout, anxiety, and other mental health issues. Hustle culture affects everyone, regardless of their profession or background. It's this insidious pressure cooker that can leave us feeling like we're never doing enough. When we buy into the idea that our worth is solely determined by our productivity, we set ourselves up for a never-ending cycle of striving and dissatisfaction. We become so focused on the next goal that we forget to appreciate the present moment and take care of our well-being. The myth that only lazy people experience burnout is one of the most harmful misconceptions. This stereotype not only stigmatizes those who are suffering, but also prevents them from seeking the help they need. It's this idea that if you're struggling with burnout, it's because you're not working hard enough. This couldn't be further from the truth. In reality, burnout often affects those who are the most dedicated and hardworking, but that's simply not true. Burnout is not a reflection of your work ethic or your capabilities. Burnout can happen to anyone, regardless of their work ethic or job title. It doesn't discriminate based on profession, age, or background. It's a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by prolonged exposure to overwhelming stress. This stress can come from various sources, including work, personal life, or even societal pressures. Imagine you have a cup of water that represents your capacity to deal with stress. This cup can only hold so much before it starts to overflow. Every time you experience stress, a little bit of water gets poured out of your cup. If the stress is constant, the water level keeps dropping. Some people might have bigger cups than others, but everyone has a limit. No matter how resilient you are, there's a point where you can't take anymore. When you're constantly pouring water out without refilling it, eventually, it's going to run dry. This is when burnout occurs. That's what burnout is. It's that feeling of emptiness and being completely drained. It's like running on empty with no energy left to give. It can manifest in a variety of ways, both physically and emotionally. The symptoms can be diverse and affect different aspects of your life. You might experience fatigue, insomnia, headaches, increased anxiety, irritability, difficulty concentrating, or a loss of motivation. These symptoms can make it hard to function in daily life. Experiencing burnout is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign that you've been strong for too long without adequate rest. It simply means that you've been pushing yourself too hard for too long and need to prioritize your well-being. Taking time to recharge and care for yourself is essential for recovery. So, we've debunked some of the myths surrounding burnout, but what can we actually do about it? How can we take actionable steps to protect our mental health and well-being in a world that often demands so much from us? It starts with two key ingredients: self-care and boundaries. These are the foundation stones for a balanced and fulfilling life. Self-care can mean different things to different people. It's a highly personal practice that varies from one individual to another. It's not just about bubble baths and face masks. While those can be nice, self-care goes much deeper. It's about identifying what replenishes your energy and brings you joy, and then making those things a priority. This could be anything from painting to spending time with friends. It's about treating yourself with the same kindness and compassion that you would offer to a loved one. Imagine how you would care for a dear friend, and then apply that same care to yourself. Maybe it's reading a good book, going for a walk, or simply enjoying a quiet moment by yourself, spending time with loved ones, sharing a meal, or having a heartfelt conversation, or pursuing a creative hobby. Creativity can be a powerful outlet for stress and a source of immense joy. Whatever it is, make time for it, even if it's just for a few minutes each day. Consistency is key to making self-care a habit. But self-care is only part of the equation. To truly thrive, we also need to master the art of setting boundaries. We also need to get good at setting boundaries. This means being clear about what we can and cannot do. Setting boundaries means learning to say no to things that drain your energy. It's about protecting your time and mental space. It means prioritizing your own needs and not feeling guilty about it. Your well-being should always come first. This might mean setting limits on your work hours, turning off notifications, or taking regular breaks, or having honest conversations about your workload. Open communication is crucial for maintaining healthy boundaries. Remember, setting boundaries isn't selfish. It's essential for protecting your mental health and well-being. By taking these steps, you can create a more balanced and fulfilling life. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. Remember, taking care of yourself is not a sign of laziness, it's a necessity. You deserve rest, you deserve to prioritize your well-being, and you deserve to thrive both personally and professionally. See you in the next video.